Mr. Deora has reached the Varsha Bungalow. That's the official residence of the Maharashtra Chief Minister. We are told he's going to join officially the Shiv Sena Shinde faction in a short while from now. Ahead of that, he has reached the Varsha Bungalow. So this is a severe jolt for the Congress party, since Mr. Deora's father, Milind Deora, is also considered an old hand. So there's a legacy that the Deora family has had with the Congress party. Jairam Ramesh had in fact invoked Milind Deora and his association with the Congress party at a time when news of Milind Deora quitting the Congress has come out. This news is also coming at a time he's announced his resignation from the Congress party on social media on a day when Bharat Jodo Nyaya Yatra has started. This is a yatra by Rahul Gandhi, which is starting from Manipur and it will end in Maharashtra, the state that Mr. Deora represented. He has been a two-term MP from the South Bombay seat, which is currently held by Arvind Sawant of Shiv Sena's Thackeray faction. So he's joining the Shiv Sena Shinde faction, which has recently been recognized by the Speaker of Maharashtra Assembly as the real Shiv Sena. Does this mean that Deora will once again lay claim to the South Bombay seat? Does this mean that, he's preparing for a larger role within the Bharatiya Janata Party NDA alliance? Because the Shinde faction and the BJP are alliance partners there in Maharashtra. They're alliance partners here at the center as well. He has experience of serving in the union government. He's been a former minister in the Ministry of Telecommunication. So Milind Deora's move, therefore, to quit the Congress and move on to the Shiv Sena Shinde faction. Like I said, he has reached the Varsha Bungalow. Those visuals on your screen, before he quit, he said that I am moving on towards on the path of Vikas. That's the only soundbite that he gave. Let's listen in to what the reactions have been so far to this big jolt that the Congress has suffered.
पार्टी के एक बड़े नेता थे, वो मंत्री रहे हैं और सांसद भी रहे हैं और पार्टी के एक वफादार सिपाही थे। पार्टी जब सत्ता में थी मुरली देवरा हमारे साथ थे, जब पार्टी में विपक्ष में थी मुरली देवरा हमारे साथ में थे। कांग्रेस का उन्होंने कभी साथ नहीं छोड़ा।
अब ये कहाँ रही निष्ठा, विचार, आइडियोलॉजी? अब ये नहीं रही है। सब सत्ता की राजनीति है, खोखे की राजनीति है और कुछ नहीं।
हम एक परिवार है, हमें साथ में रहना चाहिए और जिस तरह से मुरली भाई के कांग्रेस परिवार के साथ संबंध रहे हैं, दुख और सुख में मुरली भाई कांग्रेस परिवार के साथ रहे हैं। और आज जब भारत जोड़ो न्याय यात्रा मणिपुर से शुरू हुई है और उसी दिन ये निर्णय आना, इससे बड़ी दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण बात नहीं हो सकती, ये मुझे यहां से कहना होगा।
एक ओर श्रीमान राहुल गांधी भारत जोड़ो अभियान चला रहे हैं और दूसरी ओर उनके ही घर के नेता, दल के नेता, उनको कांग्रेस छोड़ो अभियान के तहत धीरे धीरे एक एक करके छोड़ के जा रहे हैं।
Today Milind has chosen a different path and has left the party that his father wholeheartedly and lovingly served for so many years. I just hope that wherever Milind goes, he gets justice, not like the other Congress leaders who have left the party. I wish Milind all the best.
Yet another no-confidence motion passed against Rahul Gandhi and his leadership. This time not by Lakshman Singh, this time not by Karti Chidambaram, but by Milind Deora. Clearly one thing is clear, that Rahul Gandhi should forget about Bharat Jodo Nyaya Yatra. He should start Congress Netaon ke liye Nyaya Yatra.
Yasha Kotak is joining me live from Varsha Bungalow. Yasha, Mr. Deora reached a short while back. What is it that you're hearing from Mr. Shinde's office?
So yes, in fact, right here behind me you can see the stage has been set. In fact, Chief Minister Eknath Shinde, he was finishing his day-long assignments wherein he was visiting various parts of the city as a part of the clean-up campaign that he heads over the weekend. And now, say approximately the next 10 to 15 minutes is where Paksh Pravesh of Milind Deora would take place right here. Milind Deora, who's already reached here, he is meeting Shrikant Shinde, the MP, who is also the son of Eknath Shinde. And then the Paksh Pravesh will take here. That means he'll join the Eknath Shinde faction. Milind Deora will join Eknath Shinde faction. Following which, what we see is that both of them, that is Eknath Shinde and Milind Deora, they'll be addressing the media right here. But right behind me, you can see the kind of crowd that has developed, that has come in to support Milind Deora. These are all people who have been supporting Milind Deora. In fact, all the way when we could enter Varsha Bungalow. This is in fact the official residence of Chief Minister, and there was a huge crowd. There was approximately, it would take 10 to 15 minutes to enter Varsha Bungalow, and that's the kind of crowd we were seeing that supporters of Milind Deora who had gathered. This is just the official. This is just an official location where Paksh Pravesh is taking place. There are 3 more locations where Milind Deora's supporters have gathered to support him. Now here we see that when we speak of Milind Deora's Paksh Pravesh in Eknath Shinde camp, there has of course been no word as of now from Eknath Shinde. When before just 2 hours back, when he was asked by reporters as to what he would say if Milind Deora would join his camp, he said that he's not aware as of now that Milind Deora is joining in, but if he does, then they'll be extending support. And they welcome Milind Deora. But right here behind me, you can see there are posters which have been put up which say Paksh Pravesh Milind Deora, and this is the kind of welcome that we are seeing Milind Deora receive. Of course, Milind Deora has been a tall leader for Congress, someone who we've seen has supported the Congress for 50 years, family supported for 50 years. But here, joining Eknath Shinde faction comes as a huge setback to Congress.
So, elaborate on that a little more. Milind Deora quitting the Congress and joining the Shinde faction. What does it mean for the Congress party? Could it mean more leaders could follow suit? Could it mean, as far as the Karyakarta is concerned, it will give a body blow to the Karyakarta's morale for the Congress party? Elaborate on the impact a little more.
So yes, when we speak of Milind Deora entering this very faction, that is Eknath Shinde faction, what really happens is the dispute all started with the very seat, the Mumbai South seat of Lok Sabha. Now here, this seat which actually was where Milind Deora was contesting from for the very long time, there's a dispute over it at MVA, and that seat would go into Shiv Sena, that is the UBT, that is the Uddhav Thackeray faction. But this very seat also rests with Eknath Shinde's faction when it comes to the alliance, the alliance of BJP, Eknath Shinde and Ajit Pawar. That's where Eknath Shinde has this very seat. What it means, in fact, is the fact that Milind Deora, when it comes to Lok Sabha, would get that very seat to contest from. He has, of course, held that seat for almost 2 terms. But right now, the whole dispute over seat sharing in MVA was where Milind Deora decided to come in.
Right.
Now, what this really means to the ruling faction, it of course means that there'll be a lot more Karyakartas, Milind Deora's Karyakartas, the clout of that South Mumbai seat coming in to the ruling faction. But it also means that there's a possibility that those who have been supporters of Milind Deora, who've been closely working with Milind Deora, there was of course this talk after the Shiv Sena verdict that there'll be a big blow to Congress coming in the next 15 days after that very order.
Okay.
So does it mean that the fact that Milind Deora has joined and in the next 15 days other leaders will join is something that remains to be unanswered yet?
Right, those questions are unanswered. Yasha, do hold on. Let's just play out for our viewers first what Milind Deora said when media asked him about his next move after quitting the Congress party and how Eknath Shinde, the Chief Minister, reacted.
मी विकासच्या मार्गावर जात आहे. मैं विकास के मार्ग पे चल रहा हूं. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. मी विकासच्या मार्गावर जात आहे. मैं विकास के मार्ग पे चल रहा हूं. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद.
हा, आता मी ऐकतोय ते अद्याप मला माहित नाही. पक्षप्रवेश त्यांचा होत असेल तर मी त्यांचं स्वागत करतो.
मैं विकास के मार्ग पे चल रहा हूं. That's what Milind Deora said when media asked him about his next move. Yasha is continuing to be at the Varsha Bungalow. That's the official residence of Chief Minister Eknath Shinde. Behind her, she has shown us how posters have been put up, confirming in a way that Milind Deora will shortly join the Shiv Sena Eknath Shinde faction. What would that mean as far as Milind Deora's future at the centre is concerned? There is an alliance between Eknath Shinde and the Bharatiya Janata Party. Mr. Deora himself has experience of working as a minister in the centre. Any word that you are hearing about the kind of assurances that he has received leading him to this decision of joining the Shinde Shiv Sena faction?
So yes, the only decision that actually comes in right now is the fact that, and of course this is something that has not been confirmed by Eknath Shinde or for that matter Milind Deora, but it's of course source-based information that it will be in the upcoming Lok Sabha. The seat that Deora family holds would stay with them. But apart from that, whether this means some kind of portfolios or some kind of adjustment being made at the central level or at the state level, this is something that still remains unclear. There are no answers that have been put in place when it comes to these very situations. So, as of now, what happens? Of course, we learn from our sources is that over the next few days, Chief Minister Eknath Shinde will be heading to Davos. There's a possibility that the 50-member delegation that will be heading to Davos would also include Milind Deora in it, which means that Milind Deora would hold a key position when it comes to the Eknath Shinde faction, and this is something that's again coming to the source base. Once the Paksh Pravesh ends in the next say an hour and a half from now, further details once they're shared by Chief Minister and Milind Deora themselves would throw a light as to in what capacity, in what way Milind Deora would be holding his position in the Eknath Shinde faction. So all of these are something that have not been answered by either of the factions yet. But of course, right now, all we can say is that though there was speculation at around 1 o'clock when Eknath Shinde, Chief Minister, made this very statement that he is not aware of Milind Deora, this stance is actually being cleared with the posters that have been put up at Eknath Shinde's bungalow.
Right. Varsha, do hold on. A lot of reactions coming in. Let's begin with Jaiveer Shergill, a former Congress leader himself who subsequently joined the BJP. This is what he had to say on Milind Deora's decision.
मिलिंद देओरा जी का इस्तीफा आश्चर्यजनक नहीं है। कोई भी व्यक्ति जिसमें स्वाभिमान है, जो देश हित में सोचता है, विकास हित की बात करता है, जनसेवा के लिए सोचता है, वो कांग्रेस में अब नहीं रह सकता। श्री राहुल गांधी और उनके अवामपंथी सोच वाले दरबारियों ने एक वचन लिया है कि कांग्रेस खत्म करो, देश बदनाम करो और धर्म का अपमान करो अभियान, जिसपे वो सरफरोशी और शिद्दत से काम कर रहे हैं। मिलिंद देओरा जी को उनकी अगली राजनीतिक बारी इनिंग्स के लिए बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं। पूरा विश्वास है जिस भी दल को वो ज्वाइन करेंगे, जिस भी दल का हाथ पकड़ेंगे, उम्मीद करते हैं मिलिंद देओरा जी जैसे वो करते आए हैं, देश हित में, विकास हित में, महाराष्ट्र हित में काम करेंगे।
मैं क्या कह सकता, किसी को अगर पार्टी छोड़ना है तो छोड़ दीजिए, छोड़ दें, मैं क्या कह सकता है। कुछ दिन पहले नागपुर में उनसे मुलाकात हुई थी, अच्छी बात भी हुआ था, आपस में मतलब एक्सचेंज ऑफ व्यूज भी हुई थी। उनके बारे में हम सही सलामत है या नहीं पूछा, खैरियत पूछे गए, उन्होंने भी मेरे खैरियत पूछी। पहले हमारा मंत्री थे, चुनाव जीते थे, कांग्रेस पार्टी के एमपी थे, तो अभी गए तो मैं क्या कर सकते।
देखिए, हम सभी यहाँ पे मणिपुर में आए हैं, मणिपुर के लोगों ने हमको स्वागत किया है, क्योंकि मणिपुर की बात सिर्फ कांग्रेस पार्टी और इंडिया गठबंधन उठाती है। इस पल पे मिलिंद देओरा जी नहीं है तो उन्हीं का नुकसान है, लेकिन मणिपुर आज इंडिया गठबंधन और कांग्रेस पार्टी को इस यात्रा के दौरान स्वागत कर रही है और खुलेआम से हमको सहयोग कर रही है।
So the Congress party and the former Congress leaders like Mr. Shergill giving a reaction on Milind Deora there. But let me bring in Yasha back into the conversation. Yasha, the South Bombay seat, which source-based information suggests might have been assured to Mr. Deora for his joining the Shinde faction, that is held by Arvind Sawant, right? So any reaction from Arvind Sawant or from the Uddhav Thackeray faction?
So yes, in fact, the seat which is being held by Arvind Sawant, and this was something that we obviously heard from various leaders. In fact, it was Sanjay Raut also who spoke on this very topic. It was the bone of contention when we speak of the seat distribution. In fact, there was an India Alliance meeting that took place just a few days back at Delhi. At that very meet, there were constant discussion about how Congress would only get 2 seats when it comes to the MVA Alliance. And the other seats, there was this discussion wherein it was Shiv Sena who held on to the stance that they wanted 23 seats in Maharashtra for the Lok Sabha elections. Now, which when it comes to Congress, they were holding it to around 18 seats because they said that the sitting MLAs who they had earlier won the seat for Uddhav Thackeray faction, they're not with Uddhav Thackeray anymore. They are all with Shinde faction. But this was a kind of a tiff. This was a kind of tiff that we had seen between Congress and Shiv Sena just a couple of days back, and that is where there was this very strong buzz about Milind Deora being unhappy because over the last 2 terms, Milind Deora had lost to Arvind Sawant.
Yes. Right. Yasha, do hold on. Pallavi Ghosh tracks the Congress party very closely with me on the phone line. Pallavi, help us understand the reaction from the Congress High Command. Here is a leader who was considered part of Team Rahul, who's now moving on.
Yes, absolutely. And, initially the first response which came in was from Jairam Ramesh, who talked about the fact that his father had very good equations with Jairam and with the Congress party. But after that, it all hell broke loose. From calling him a traitor to saying that this is the kind of friendship he's shown and for compromising on his ideology. Milind Deora is, of course, going to be facing the worst coming in for the Congress because, frankly speaking, is also coming in on a bad day. On when ideally a situation when the Congress would have wanted the focus to be on the Bharat Jodo Yatra, the focus is instead of a man who has quit the party, and that was someone who had very easy access to Rahul Gandhi at one point of time. When he walks away, and when he walks away, he takes with him this entire perception that the Congress party is not able to keep the relatively young leaders together. And that also becomes then a reflection on Rahul Gandhi.
So has Mr. Deora also said something, off record, is there anything being attributed to him about why he took this decision to quit the Congress?
He has been often expressing his point of view publicly every time the Congress has not done well in elections. And he said that the Congress has just lost its mojo. It doesn't even get the idea that where it's going wrong and does not even understand its mistake. So there has been a sense of disillusionment. Look, at the end of the day, every politician would want that his political future is secure in the state where he operates from. In the case of Milind Deora, as we saw the seat sharing talks take place with Sanjay Raut insisting that the Congress doesn't deserve from 2 Lok Sabha seats, I don't think he saw a future for himself in the party, and that explains why that break he decided to take to carve his own political future.
But what does this mean really for Congress in Maharashtra? Will Milind Deora be the sole, former MP crossing over? Could this mean a further exodus?
A lot depends on where the seat sharing talks go. There are many who are aspirants who will want to have the tickets. But if the seat sharing talks don't go in favor of the Congress party, the NCP and the Shiv Sena, Uddhav Thackeray faction walks away with the bulk of the seats, then I am sure there would be a sense of disillusionment. The Lok Sabha elections are going to be followed up with the Vidhan Sabha elections in Maharashtra as well. I wouldn't rule out the possibility of many more Congress leaders, not just in Maharashtra, but in other states as well, crossing over.
Will the floodgates then open for more people leaving the Congress in Maharashtra specifically? Pallavi, do hold on. Let me play out the political reactions that we have on the story and then I'll come back to you.
उनके पिता ने भी हमेशा पार्टी के अंदर रहे और जब उनको जरूरत है, पार्टी को उनकी जरूरत है और उतार चढ़ाव हर पार्टी में आते हैं, तो मैं समझता हूं कि जो भी उन्होंने कदम जो उठाया है वो बहुत दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण है। ऐसा है कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी हर प्रकार के हथकंडे अपना रही है। इनका मकसद केवल एक ही है कि कांग्रेस पार्टी उनकी नंबर 1 दुश्मन है और उनके ऊपर जिस प्रकार से घात लगा सके, चाहे वो ईडी के द्वारा, चाहे वो सीबीआई के द्वारा, चाहे वो इलेक्शन कमीशन का दुरुपयोग करें, और राहुल गांधी जी का मकसद भी यही है।
आज एक बड़े कांग्रेस नेता हैं, महाराष्ट्र यूनिट से आते हैं, मिलिंद देओरा, उन्होंने कांग्रेस का हाथ छोड़ दिया है, क्या कहना चाहेंगे इस पे?
देखिए, कांग्रेस के सभी साथ छोड़ेंगे, धीरे धीरे सभी साथ छोड़ेंगे। पहले इन्होंने भारत जोड़ो, काय का भारत जोड़ा था पता नहीं, इनके बाप दादाओं ने कश्मीर को, हमारे से पाकिस्तान को, बांग्लादेश को अलग करने का पाप किया है। एक सिख कौम को 84 के दंगे के अंदर पेड़ गिरता है, बड़ा पेड़ गिरता है, धरती दहलती सिखों का कत्लेआम करने का काम किया है। आप भोपाल कांड को देखेंगे, आज भी लाखों लोग उससे प्रताड़ित हैं। इसलिए काय का जोड़ो, काय की न्याय यात्रा, जनता समाज न्याय मांग रहा है और न्याय का परिणाम भी समाज दे रहा है। 3 राज्यों से इनका पलायन कराया, आगे भी कराने वाले हैं, और जिस प्रकार से सभी लोग प्रधानमंत्री के महायज्ञ के अंदर सब आहुति देने वाले हैं, जैसा बदलता हुआ भारत देख रहे हैं, विकसित भारत देख रहे हैं, सभी की इच्छा ऐसी थी, इसलिए सारे ही अनेकों अनेक लोग जुड़ने वाले हैं और कांग्रेस के अंदर खाली ये माँ बेटे ही अंत में रह जाएंगे और कुछ चापलूस लोग रह जाएंगे।
सुनने में जा रहा है कि वो शिंदे कैंप का हिस्सा बनने वाले हैं और कांग्रेस की तरफ से ये कहा जा रहा है कि उनका कांग्रेस से जाना कुछ खासा फर्क नहीं आएगा, क्योंकि वो साउथ मुंबई से चुनाव लड़ते आए हैं, पिछली बार 2 बार चुनाव हारे भी हैं, अरविंद सावंत ने उनको हराया, तो उस गुट में पहले से कोई किसी तरह की दिक्कत नहीं होने वाली है कांग्रेस को।
तो ऐसे ही बोलते हैं, पहले ऐसे ही बोलते हैं, कोई दिक्कत होने वाली नहीं है, कि उनको राहुल गांधी ही चाहिए, एक परिवार से ही लोग चाहिए, उनको कोई भी देशभक्त नहीं चाहिए, राष्ट्रवादी लोग नहीं चाहिए, उसी का परिणाम है। और अंत में वो आप देखें ना, वेस्ट बंगाल के अंदर 0 जीत कर 0 पे आगे उसके बाद भी खुश हैं, वो 0 से खुश हैं।
देखिए, ये इससे एक निराशा तो होती है। मैं मिलिंद जी को जानता हूँ, मैं राजनीतिक साथी के साथ साथ उनको व्यक्तिगत मित्र भी मानता था और पिछले कई वर्षों में स्वाभाविक है हम लोग बहुत ज़्यादा उम्र में अलग नहीं हैं तो एक दूसरे से चर्चा भी होती थी। चर्चा न केवल राजनीतिक होती थी बल्कि विचारों की होती थी, देश का कैसे होना चाहिए, भारतीय जनता पार्टी के बारे में मेरा क्या ओपिनियन है, उनका क्या है, मोदी के बारे में अपनी अपनी। तो जिस तरह की बातें वो कम से कम मुझसे कहते थे, ऐसा व्यक्ति कांग्रेस छोड़ के भारतीय जनता पार्टी से जुड़े हुए किसी भी घटक दल से जाकर जुड़ जाए, मुझे बहुत आश्चर्य होता है।
We are still waiting for that official function at Varsha Bungalow, where Eknath Shinde's presence could ensure Milind Deora taking over the mantle of membership of the party Shiv Sena Eknath Shinde faction. We'll continue to keep our focus on that story, but slipping into a very quick break. Stay right here.